everyone. My name is Michelle Marshall, and I'm here today to interview this week's book tour author, Robyn Barclay. Hi, Robyn. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really thrilled to be here.
And Robyn's very kindly agreed to answer some questions for our viewers. And I'd like to start by asking you, Robyn, when did you first discover your love of writing?
My love for writing began when I was a child, and I was inspired by an event at our elementary school called the Young Authors Conference. A few students from each class would be chosen to attend each year, and we would have the chance to enroll in these really exciting workshops that were led by professional authors and artisans. And these inspiring individuals would engage us in writing or fine art activities to complement our interests. I also love reading, and I would imagine the characters in the books being brought to life. So, writing my own stories channeled an important creative outlet. I also love reading stories aloud, especially using funny and unique voices for my characters.
Oh, that sounds amazing. It's so exciting when you get someone like that come into your school as a child.
Yes, it was really very engaging and just exciting for us to be able to be given that opportunity.
And you also do your own illustrations for your books. So how is your passion for art ignited?
So, according to my parents, my love and maybe my beginning and blossoming skills for art were ignited when I had to stay in a hospital for a brief respiratory illness when I was a toddler. They had found me in a playroom with just alongside a nurse, and I was at an easel painting. So they were pretty intrigued by, that interest at such a young age. I might have been around 2 or 3. And my love and interest in art grew as I did. I attended a school for the arts in my elementary years, mostly focusing though on music and theater. So art became my major focus when I entered high school, and then into my university years where I concentrated on a fine art degree in visual art studio, so painting and drawing. Um, a few years after I graduated with my Bachelor of Fine Art, I returned to school to attain my Bachelor of Education, which kind of propelled my career as an art teacher. So I had illustrated 2 books for 2 different authors prior to my own series and realized that I could mesh my love for writing and art just to embark on my own literary journey. Yeah, while just simultaneously taking care of the integral parts to creating my picture books through text and illustration. So I am a practicing artist as well. I paint in acrylic and watercolor. I create murals. I've actually been commissioned to do a very big mural in an outdoor reading garden. So that's a very exciting opportunity for me. And yeah, I paint nature, sunsets, marine life, whenever the time allows me to use that expressive outlet. The illustrations in the 3 books that I've written developed a lot in how I've implemented my style and my technique. Everything is manually done with a pencil, watercolor paints, and a Sharpie marker pretty much to do the outlines in pen and ink. I use 140-pound watercolor paper. I scan it into a printer at the highest quality and send off for publishing. I have yet to explore digital art to create my own illustrations, but that could be my next step. It could be kind of the way technology is going. So maybe that's something I need to explore. But for now, I remain very connected to my paintbrush and traditional manner of illustrating.
Thank you so much for sharing that. You're obviously a very creative person.
I try.
Yes. Your series, My Good Friend Ted, is a delightful children's book. All 3 of them are just absolutely gorgeous. Can
Thank
you tell
you.
our viewers how you came to create Ted and the wonderful world that he lives in?
Yes. So Ted is a unique whale. He's a blue whale in species, but he's red in color. The series was initially inspired by my son at his toddler age and his adoration for sea creatures. His favorite mammal is a blue whale. and our frequent trips to our city's aquarium in Toronto, Ontario, has become a highlight for both of us over the years. He's now almost 12, so this is a very special bonding place for us, since we both love marine life. I took a lot of photographs of the various creatures, but unfortunately, no whales were there. But the wheels just started turning. When my son was only 6, I started penning just a sweet little poem for him. I ended up workshopping the poem with my younger students who were aged around 4 to 7 years old, just to see their response and to gauge an appropriate audience, just to get their feedback, which once I received their favorable feedback and they were excited about this, they gave, some interesting suggestions. So in my first book, I had dedicated some of the creative input to my school. But yeah, once I received that feedback, just moved full speed ahead with having the manuscript edited, and I illustrated it pretty much throughout one summer. In 2021, the first book was published. The second one came around because we I had a new idea. So it came in 2022, and then the third in 2023. So it's kind of like every year there was a new, just kind of growth of Ted and his adventures and his friends. Yeah, for many of the images in the book, I actually referenced the photographs I had taken at the aquarium, just to kind of give some reality to the characters. Like they were actually like real creatures there, so I could reference them properly, I guess, and appropriately. I find uh, the sea adventure just intriguing. It just gives the children a chance to imagine that there's an entire world or life underwater that interacts with, supports, and relates to each other as humans do on land. So kind of give them their own personalities and have their own importance for the stories,
Oh,
especially Ted.
thank you. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. It's lovely to hear that it was based on real life creatures.
Mhm.
And you obviously care a lot about wildlife, and your books are perfect for teaching children about the sea and the creatures that live in it. Can you tell our viewers why this is so important to you?
So, growing up, I mentioned that my love for aquariums with my son was such
Hmm.
a bonding moment for him and I. When I was a child and we would be on road trips, my father would maybe take us to an aquarium. So, just watching the marine creatures swimming and just learning about them, especially the jellyfish, it was very mesmerizing. Um, and there were times when if we were on a road trip, we needed to take a ferry boat to our destination. We drive the car onto the boat and then just, travel across to wherever we needed to go. And I would stand with my father just at the railing on the deck and stare into the water below just to see if I could see anything. He's like, well, just keep looking, keep looking. You may find, some type of a creature to follow, or just, that could surprise us. So in my early 20s, I ended up working on cruise ships for almost 2 years. And the same fascination with the ocean and sea creatures just remained really strong. It was a true highlight to watch dolphins swimming alongside our ships as we carefully and slowly sailed away from the port. Um, I got to swim with the stingrays in Grand Cayman and visit ecological parks in Mexico. So this was all really just it just resonated with me. And coupled with my son's interest in sea creatures and my own affinity for the ocean, I feel that using this type of medium for sparking conversations about the threats to our ocean and taking care of marine life, using lovable characters, it just makes sense, and it can become very meaningful for children to support such a significant cause. Um, Children can empathize with these creatures and wish to see them safe and thriving rather than in danger and struggling. It also helps motivate a child's inquiry and awareness towards how they can make a difference within their surroundings by taking care of the environment and other living species and beings. I've been a sponsor of the world-renowned organization Save the Whales in Monterey Bay, California, in the US. It's been a few years now, and I regularly donate a portion of my book and merchandise sales to help further their educational programming and support our global waters and the magnificent marine life. So if there are any sales, well, hopefully when there are sales of the book and merchandise, I always tell people that it's going for a great cause that relates to the content of the story, but it's also, a way for the families and the children to know that they're making a difference.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful that to have that positive association with it. And the 10 book series also spreads a message of kindness and inclusivity. So, what inspired you to write about these subjects?
So the themes within the stories of my good friend Ted, as you say, they touch on friendship, respect, kindness, diversity, acceptance, and teamwork. The topics are extremely important conversations to have with children, especially very young children, as they begin to navigate their own relationships and find their place in this world. Sharing these topics in a way that children can appreciate and take to heart through discussions at their age level around, I would say the books are, geared towards 3 to 8 year olds. Once again, through lovable characters, it sparks understanding, empathy, and just the will to do good in this world. It helps that I'm a teacher also for this age level, the youngest age, and I witness ongoing interactions between children from all walks of life, just opening their eyes, their minds, and hearts to being inclusive and welcoming differences allows for kindness to prevail. Our global population right now needs to continue practicing oodles of kindness.
Yeah.
And therefore, what better way to begin these acts by guiding our youngest generation to just follow the lead of favorite book characters and who believe in these acts and wholeheartedly and just would never imagine any other way of life but just to be kind and do good.
So absolutely beautifully said there, Robin. Thank you. And you can buy Robin's wonderful books in our Book Dragon store in Stockton-on-Tees or on our website, thebookdragon.co.uk. And if you'd like some signed copies of her books, then stop by on Saturday, April the 26th between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. And there'll also be a free keyring and postcard designed personally by Robin with each purchase. Thank you so much for your time, Robin. It's been an absolute pleasure to interview you.
Thank you very much. And it was, as I said at the beginning, just a thrill to have us chatting like this and for me to share about TED.